Hi, it's John here, and I'm the DOS of Simple English School. And I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our different roles and what kind of schools and kindergartens we work with. So let's get started. The first thing to tell you is about our contracts. We have a separate video on the contracts actually, but here, a quick reminder. We have a standard contract, which is 25 academic hours. First thing to know, an academic hour isn't always one real hour. Sometimes it's 40 minutes, sometimes it's 45 minutes, and sometimes it is the whole hour. And also something to say about these 25 academic hours. It is no way a part-time job. A kind of role like this is definitely a 40-hour working week because you need to plan your lessons, you need to commute, and it all adds up. So think of it as a Monday to Friday job, which is, it's 40 hours, but not blocked together. There's gaps, three gaps to have lunch, to go for a walk, meet friends. So it's kind of like a flexible 40-hour working week. And secondly, we have the full day contract. This is usually at one location and 40 hours at the school physically. They're not all teaching hours. There's time for planning, but you're expected to be at the school for those 40 hours. Usually the same start and end date every day, Monday to Friday. But again, you have completely free weekends, which isn't a given in our industry. And because you have to be at this school for the whole time, you get reimbursed with a higher salary, which you can check, of course, on our job advertisements and on the contract video, which we also have up. So let's move on to the next part. So just going to tell us a little bit about our business model. So basically, how we make money, and why is this important? So first thing to note is we're not a language center in the way that we have classrooms, we get clients and teach them in the school. We're more like an agency, but not quite. We're probably something in between because we have our own like training department, we make our own programs, and we have people working that will work with the clients and say like, okay, you want this program, we'll help the teacher make this program. So think of something in between, but your lessons will be at government schools or private clients around the city in different locations. So how do we make our money? So we make deals with different institutions. Well, schools, kindergartens mainly, sometimes directly, and sometimes the school is doing it on behalf of the parents who are having like extracurricular activity clubs. And our pricing are totally transparent. Like if you look at the Simple English Russian website, we have our rates like very clearly stated. So we're very transparent, just like on the English side, we clearly advertise how much we pay our teachers from year to year. So you might ask, why would an institution like a school or college or kindergarten, why would they come to us to look for a teacher and not hire a teacher directly? Well, there's some simple reasons. Firstly, because we deal with all the visa, all the registration, all the other important documents to bring the teacher there, which is a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of time, a lot of money. Secondly, they have security. For example, if a school invites a teacher from abroad, the teacher might decide it's not for them and go back home. They might unfortunately have a family situation they have to go back for. And if you're working with a teacher individually, that's a lot of lost money, a lot of time spent. And then you've got classes without a teacher, which you cannot easily replace. So at least they have security when working with a company like us who can provide substitute teachers or replacement teachers very quickly. And of course, there's other like legal protections. For example, if a teacher does something wrong and leaves the country, it's very difficult to like prosecute a teacher, for example, because of Russian law. But we take on board all those responsibilities. So these schools and colleges can just work with us. And all they have to do is like, do they like the teacher? Do they not like the teacher? If unfortunately there is a clash and they don't get on with the teacher, they'll ask us for a new teacher. So for them, it's all security and safety. And that's how we work. We have many clients who we've built up over a number of years. And we're going to talk about some of our different kinds of roles. So first, qualified school teacher. By this, I mean teachers who have actually been to university to learn how to teach. So we do have some clients asking for a full-time teacher who's done some kind of teaching degree like the PGCE in England, but there's other variants like Scotland has their own, and America, South Africa, for example, have their own kinds of diploma level teaching positions. And these schools usually want the teachers to teach not only English, but also other subjects like maths and science in English using one of the British curriculums, maybe the IGCSE, International GCSE, or the IB program. So yeah, these jobs will always be advertised separately because we need very specific teachers. But if you apply for this is the kind of thing that you're going to do. Next, VIP school teachers. When we mean VIP school, we usually mean like very prestigious schools, usually private schools. They may be in the city or slightly out of the city. And it may be a full day contract or a standard contract. It all depends on how many hours they want the teacher for. So what do they want? Obviously, they want an experienced teacher who's proved themselves in the past, and ideally one that's done a qualification like CELTA, so they have some like background. And of course, a university degree is always wanted by these institutions, no matter where you go. The kind of classes you'll be expected to teach, maybe it'll just be general English, general ESL English, but they might want you to teach CLIL, which is like teaching different subjects in English. They might want a literature program. They might want you to make debate clubs and actually help with designing your own courses to run parallel with one of their courses. So they want a teacher who's qualified and flexible and experienced. And usually if you work at this kind of school, they give you like chunks of hours. So ideally there will be less commuting, not always guaranteed, but it's kind of like one of the rewards for working at one of these schools. Usually the hours are blocked together and it's quite convenient. Next, so we have a lot of primary and secondary schools that we work with, but 90% are primary school. That's basically the market in EFL right now. Small kids are where all the money are, and because parents want their young kids to learn, and the kids have no choice whether they want to learn or not. But yeah, be honest, most small kids I've taught have been very enthusiastic once you actually show some interest in them. So if you're into primary kids, I definitely recommend our company. If you can't work with primary kids, we're probably not the place for you. So yeah, get that in your head. 90% of the clients will be 7 to 12-year-olds, basically. So we work both with private and government schools. And in many cases, they're after school clubs, like the parents are still working, the kids stay in school a bit longer. They have lots of different choices. For example, they might go to like a photography club or some music club, but English is always an option. And of course, parents are always keen to put their kids in a educational class like English. And yeah, because it's an extra hours kind of school thing, it only lasts for a few hours, maybe like 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, maybe 6 hours to 8 hours a week. So we can't just say, okay, this is your government school you're working at. We have to put you in different places, maybe some kindergartens, maybe some schools to build up towards that 25 hours. That's why there tend to be some gaps in the schedules for the standard contract. But yeah, I've done this before. I've substituted even while being a DOS, and yeah, the kids are always fun. So let's move on to the next one, kindergarten. So we have lots of kindergartens. It's in huge demand in Russia and in the world, to be honest. This may be a full day contract, or it might be a standard contract. Again, it all depends on the hours offered by the school, or maybe several different institutions. And as mentioned before, you could be putting a mixture of primary schools and kindergartens to fill up your schedule. About kindergartens, we actually have our own kindergarten director, Maria, and she's made programs as well. But some programs also have their own programs and their own teaching assistants and want you to do that. So lots of different flexibility, but I'm sure you'll manage. It just requires some energy, some hard work, and application, basically. And yeah, the standard lesson for a kindergarten student is usually much shorter, 25 to 30 minutes because of their attention span. So you'll get more classes, but the classes will be shorter. So be aware of that. What else? We actually also have kindergarten support assistants. slightly different kind of job, but you're still working in a kindergarten. It doesn't involve giving lessons, but it involves being there with the kids and actually taking your own initiative. So you have to like gather the kids, like bring them to the side. Yeah, let's speak some English. Here's some flashcards. Oh, let's play this game. So you are teaching them English, but you're doing it in a much more flexible manner and you're taking initiative. So we really need energetic, really enthusiastic people who are always thinking of creative ideas of convincing the kids to come over. But there's also other tasks like taking the kids on walks, making sure they wash their hands, and helping out with the kindergarten stuff, maybe like cleaning the table and setting things up. So standard fare for kindergarten. What else do we have? Of course, we have private clients. This might be online using Zoom or Skype or face-to-face at the client's home. Most of the clients will be of school age, so their parents will be hiring those to teach their kid. There are some teenagers and adult students, maybe small groups doing exams or business, but not very often this happens because again, as mentioned before, the supply and demand is all with the kids at the moment. And we have much fewer private clients than schools. So we usually add these to teachers' schedules if they're maybe around 20 hours, not quite up to their 25 hours, just to fill their schedule up a little bit more. And we can be a bit more flexible. Like if there's a gap in the schedule, we can put a client there. So that's generally how it works. We're also affiliated with a children's camp called Sportzania. So this is a camp that's located in a hotel outside of Moscow. Really nice hotel with an indoor swimming pool and other really cool things like gyms. And it's just a beautiful place as well. It's near an old historic city called Istra, and it's amazing. So we have sessions during the school holidays. So not government holidays, but school holidays, like half term, we would call in Britain, basically. And sometimes we have teachers who can just drop to 0 hours because all their kids are on holiday, but it's not a government holiday. So this is a perfect opportunity to send you to this camp, for example, for a week. And yeah, usually 6 to 8 hours a day. Quite fun lessons, bit different. It's more project based. And yes, it's a really cool place to be. And actually, we have lots of sessions in the new year and summer during the government holidays, for example. In the New Year holidays, our teachers are on holiday, but they can actually choose and decide they want to make some extra money by going to this camp, but that's totally optional. Maybe you want to go on holiday in Russia, maybe you just want to chill out. So we're very flexible with that. And in the summer, our contracts usually finish end of May, but you're free to do whatever after that. You can go home for a few months, you can travel Russia for a few months, or you might decide you want to make some extra money, or you really want to work for 1 or 2 months, then travel. And our camps are a perfect opportunity for that because, yeah, you'll be compensated with a salary, of course, and like they have food there, so you get to eat for free. And we actually do have another location in Sochi in the summer, I believe in July. So you can actually visit a really nice beach resort and do the same thing. So yeah, plenty of flexibility here. And what else can you do in summer? Well, we have our camp, as just mentioned, but we actually work with other camps, like maybe they'll approach us saying that we're short of teachers. Do you have anybody who might be interested in helping us? And that might be an opportunity for you. There's also plenty of like schools that we work with throughout the year who are like, yeah, we want a summer program. The parents are really enthusiastic to get some extra English and we want to offer this opportunity. And of course, we can provide a teacher for them, make a program for them, or help them design their own program. There's plenty of options there. And sometimes private clients, again, they might want somebody working as a governor or governess, which is a really full-time job where you live with the kids for a while, of course, very highly paid. And sometimes families just want a private teacher who just will come and tutor them during the summer, maybe a few hours a week or maybe intensively so that they're ready to go to England for some camp or visit for a few weeks. So yeah, we're really flexible in the summer, but as I mentioned before, absolutely optional. The summer is your time. If you want to work, great. If you don't want to work, enjoy your summer. And Russia is a wonderful place to enjoy your summer. It's such a big country and there's plenty of countries nearby, or you could just go home, catch up with family and friends. That's important too. So what fits me? So some positions are advertised separately if it's for a highly qualified role, Like this is quite obvious because these teachers need very, very specific skills. And yeah, they're financially rewarded for their special skills and experience. If you're already a very experienced EFL teacher, you're more likely to get a very specific role that you want. Of course, there's no guarantees, but it's obviously going to put you in good stead. We are happy to take on less experienced teachers if they're qualified and have the minimum requirements, but you might have a schedule that's more, a bit more demanding, requires more commuting, but that's only natural. My advice is be flexible because again, if you're low on experience, you need to work your way up somehow, and this is a fabulous opportunity to do that. And if you start, for example, not in September, but in October, November, of course, there's going to be fewer roles available for you. It's just the way the world works. So again, if you're going to turn up quite late in the academic year, you're going to have to be flexible. And in either of the two prior cases, for example, if you work for a company for a whole year, prove your worth, like show enthusiasm, and you're a great person to work with, of course, you can request something else for the next year. Like you can build up a relationship and say like, I like this, I didn't like this so much. So next year, would it be possible for me to do this role? Do I need to do any extra training to teach here? Then yes, of course, we'll give you all the advice and we'll try our best to accommodate you because of course, if we like working with you, we want to keep you happy and give you the best experience you possibly can. So that is the end of this video. A little bit longer than I thought it would be, but thanks for bearing with me. Have a great time, and I hope to see you at Simple English if you decide that this opportunity is for you.